What's up guys, and welcome back to Empire Total War, where last week we left it with this monstrosity that unfolded. So basically we'd left Bogota. As you can see, we've got ourselves our army sitting up this direction. We did try and go and take Caracas, but they have quite a lot of men there. So we are making a retreat back to Bogota to reinforce and try and build up our forces a little bit. But in the meantime, this rebel Barney of an army decided to come along, led by big Sal Cruz, and he's going to take on big Blair Macduff. Blair Macduff! You're not taking on Blair Macduff and winning. So we're going to have to do this ourselves because the game thinks that Blair Macduff is going to lose. So yeah, they actually have 2 units of cavalry, which are basically useless because we have walls. So providing they don't capture a gate, I think we stand a pretty solid chance of winning this. So we're going to fight it ourselves. And just ensure that they don't actually capture a gate, because if they do, then we might be in a bit of a fankle. Right, we're in. This is Bogota by the looks of things. So it looks very similar to pretty much every other city we have to fight in, but we've got ourselves our men. They can come from that direction, so anywhere over there. I'm guessing they're probably going to come from here. So we'd be as well, I think. Where are our men? Have we got men on the outside of the walls? Of course we have men on the outside of the walls. It's a common occurrence these days. Right, where's the other? Oh, they're all standing on top of each other, which is a solid plan. So I'm thinking what we might do is, given that they're coming from that general direction, is I'm going to take these guys. I'm going to position them over here. And the only real reason I'm putting them there is to prevent somebody going around and trying to get in this side. It just gives us a bit of time to get over there and make sure that we can stop them. Because I've had it a few times where they've sent men around this side of the fort, and by the time we get across there, it's already too late and they've captured the gate. So I think we've got a pretty strong position here. I'm hoping these militia are able to man the cannons, because if they're not, then they're pretty useless. Oh, they've actually split their army. We've got a group of cavalry over here. This time these cavalry actually have men on top of them, which is probably an advantage. And the rest of their men are over this direction. The rest of their cavalry, is this their... No, that guy over there is their general. Just casually sitting on his own. Cannonballs are just not quite reaching him, which is unfortunate. It'd be quite nice if a rogue cannonball was to annihilate him. Meanwhile, these guys are all making a mad dash towards us, so we'll just continue with what we've got. I think we've got a pretty decent setup so far. We've lost a gate. How have we lost the gate? March your way along there quickly and try and capture that gate back. Go, go, go. Everybody, get yourself along there and capture that gate right now. Half of them are still outside the walls, so I'm not sure how we've not got this gate back yet. Although, having said that, the cavalry have just stopped, so, I mean, it's not really an issue anymore. Are these guys running away? They are running away. Excellent. So we'll send these guys over to assist. Right, can we possibly... These guys are actually... Our guys are thinking of running away. Why are you running away? There's loads of you. Actually, we might be better off not engaging them in sword battles, because they're pirates. They're probably quite good at sword battles. I think we probably do better at actually shooting them. These pirates are proving more deadly than I first anticipated. Pirates are thinking of running away though. They're getting bombarded by our muskets quite heavily, and they are now running away. I think it was probably quite a good move to move our men away from an actual battle with them, even though some of them are still trying to take them on single-handedly. They do seem to be winning though, because the pirates don't seem to be bothered too much about actually fighting back. They're just more keen on actually getting away. They're pretty out of their comfort zone, to be honest. I mean, I see no water. Apart from the water that's fallen from the sky, they're... I mean, where's their ship? Where's their ship? I mean, what kind of pirates fight without a ship? Our general's dead. Where's this hat? Oh, our general's one of these guys. Oh, Macduff! I can't even remember his first name. Sutton Macduff! Unfortunate. Anyway, actually, you know what, if you guys could just go and clear into that building before you actually run away, that would be quite nice. then we just need to line ourselves up and start shooting these pirates, because it seems like that's their weakness. Is musket balls to the face somehow is, well, to be honest, it's probably a weakness of us all. But yeah, if we could start doing that, then I think we should probably get them to run away quite easily. We just need to really kill enough of them to get them to run away. That's all we need to do, to be honest. Cavalry still not moved. Cavalry still not moved, even though they own 1, 2, 3. In fact, they own all the gates apparently. Not sure how they've managed that, but they not utilising their cavalry, not utilising it in the slightest. Another one of our units is now running away, or thinking about it anyway. This is bad. Like, these pirates are taking one hell of a beating. Hopefully these guys up here are able to absolutely murder them in a second once they actually start firing. Today would be nice. Sometime today would be nice. How slowly do you want to move? Shoot them! Oh, for Christ's sake. Now everybody's moving. What are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you doing? Right, at least we've captured the walls back, so that's an advantage. All we have to do now is actually kill these guys. Ah, we're finally shooting them off the wall. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. It's been about 15 minutes, but they eventually decided that this is the optimum formation to take up to shoot these guys. Anyway, at least they're shooting, and they're thinking of running away. Please, for the love of God, just run away. Just run away. Oh, they finally decided to run away. Thank God for that. That's been far too long. Far too long. But they've finally decided that enough's enough and they're clearing off. The cavalry is on the move, but all we have to do now is actually secure this gate back, and we're standing on it, and we've got it back. So, providing these guys don't somehow capture a gate in the next couple of seconds, then the cavalry is useless, and we shall win. Now we won. Close victory, a lot closer than it had to be. Those bloody pirates with their swords were actually really good. The frontiersmen were just complete bitches. They died immediately and ran away, but the pirates, providing that we kept range with them and used their guns, we stood a good chance of killing them all. But whenever we got in close combat with them, we had no chance. So it was it was made to be a lot closer than it probably should have been. But we've won it, so they've cleared off, and we can now hopefully get our men from the army we sent towards Caracas and get them back into Bogota sometime soon, so we can actually defend. Workers on strike literally everywhere. So this army up here, it's not going to make it the whole way, is it? No, it's going to make it about halfway. So we're going to have to... Well, we've recruited some more men, recruited some Scots, which is probably the best thing. So we'll recruit ourselves a general as well. What's his name? Leith Burr. Recruit even more men in the next couple of turns, and that should see off these rebels. And then once we've replenished our men, built our army, we shall then send them back towards Caracas in a final attempt to actually take them. Because it's been quite a while since we started this campaign, and we've not managed to make really... Well, we've made a big indent, given that we've taken Bogota, but apart from that, we've not really done much. The French, on the other hand, are still proving to be quite a nuisance. They've still got a load of men positioned in and around Turin, so we just can't really attack them yet. We are still, I think, building men in Rome, so we could probably send men, but then we've got this bloody rebel army popped up in southern Italy again. So we can't really afford to remove too many men from that area, otherwise we're going to lose it. So yeah, we're kind of just in a bit of a stalemate with them. They have sent quite a few men north. They have got this army sitting inside Orleans, who are heavily battle scarred. I'm sure these units can have up to 180 men in them, and they've got 33, 19, 44, 45, not that many. So I think we've got a pretty strong chance of beating them, especially we've got these two Austrian armies who are also pretty heavily battle scarred, but there are a lot of men still standing, and we've got our army inside France, inside Paris itself, which we're in the process of replenishing because I forgot to do that ages ago, and now it's happening. So we've got them. We do also still have this other half-sized army who are completely fresh and ready to go. Yeah, these guys should stand absolutely no chance whatsoever of taking anything. But I still don't understand how France are surviving. They have no money really coming in. They've got like 752 coins being made from this port, which they were making like 20-odd thousand from that port, and it's no longer happening. So I'm staggered really as to the fact that they're still around. They've got this French fleet over here, full-size French fleet, who've done nothing, absolutely nothing to try and stop us from raiding their trade routes. So yeah, not really sure what they're planning. They've not even bothered trying to blockade our trade routes. So it's a very odd tactic that the French are taking up. They're basically just bleeding money and not really doing anything about it. Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're hoping is going to happen out of this. But I think we had a quick look at taking on this army last week, and it looks like it's a possibility that we can take these two armies in one go if we use both of these armies. So I think he may just do that now. It's going to be a bit of a hefty battle. I think if we manage to play our cards right, we should hopefully be able to take these guys out. So I'll just go and attack them now. These guys should join us, and they are. It's actually given us pretty big advantage over the enemy army. So big Roy Barton, Joey Barton's great grandfather, has decided that he's taking his 1,900 men. And this lad, no idea who this boy is bringing his 1,566 men. So a good solid 3,500 men making their way towards big Napoleon's army, who, funnily enough, isn't actually the general of his own army, which I don't know how that works, but he's just a unit inside the army. It's actually this lad who's heading it up. Also, Laurent Chaffee is taking up this army, and they have about 2,000 men. So yeah, we have a solid 1,500 men more than them, and I think we're going to win this pretty easily. But I'm considering doing it myself, because if we lose a lot of men, then we're probably going to have to go back and replenish. If we can beat this army immediately and do it well, and still have a lot of men left, and then beat this army and still have a lot of men left, we can then immediately take on Turin. And if we can take Turin, I think we'll probably take out France. So I'm going to do this myself. Just think it works out better if we can keep our numbers high and not lose too many men. It gives us a far better opportunity at securing Turin, as it does. Because if we lose a lot of men, if I was to alt-resolve it and we lost like half of our men, it might not give us enough men to actually take Turin off of the French, depending on how many of them escape. Right, so we start the battle looking at a horse's arse, but it's not too bad a battlefield, to be honest. We've got ourselves quite a nice advantage here of having a rise on this side. And the French do have a rise as well, so like a little hill that they've got. So it's pretty 50-50. I don't really want to be battling them in this sort of dip in the middle, so I think I might just kind of hope that they come and attack us. So we'll set up our cannons roughly somewhere around like here. So how far does... yeah, that pretty much covers the entire battlefield. So I don't think they stand much chance of being able to... unless they run away behind that hill, they're going to get hit by a cannonball. These trees can give us a little bit of an advantage. So they'll come running up here, and they'll get absolutely annihilated. If they try to go through the trees, they'll get caught out by these guys. We'll move our cavalry slightly further back. I think we could possibly look at getting these guys in the trees as well. Yeah, so they're hidden as well. So gives us a pretty strong position, I think. We've already got one of their units running away. These enemy cavalry got an absolute bombardment, lost about 5 of them, and they're clearing off. These guys are taking heavy losses. They're trying to circle around us. If you guys could get in square formation. What are you? What are you? Drummers, right, okay, that's probably not a great idea to have our drummers on the end of the line. Not going to do very much. These horses are thinking of running away. They've somehow managed to get inside our square, but they are being absolutely done in by these guys who just took no shit and just annihilated them, and they've completely lost them. Completely dead. Meanwhile, these guys who thought they were having a nice time just strolling through the woods are now being engaged by our grenadiers up the hill. Can you quite in range to reach them? Now these cavalry are thinking they're going to take us on in our square formation. They're also going to get absolutely annihilated because square formation is so powerful against cavalry, and now they're running away as well. They've already lost about 4 or 5 units, and they've not even made it remotely close to us yet. They have absolutely no chance. They're trying to come round us again over this side as well with their cavalry, but I don't think they stand much chance. We could bring these guys across. A lot of them are thinking of running away. In fact, like all of them are running away. They're. Look at the absolute death and destruction every single time they come even just remotely into range of our Scots, who are so good. They're so accurate. Like, immediately, as soon as they come into range of them, they just get absolutely annihilated, and there's just nothing they can do about it. They have just parked themselves there, and they came in, all gung-ho, got to here, stopped, and then we just took them out one at a time, and now they're running away. Like, I don't understand what the logic behind all of this is, because there doesn't seem to be very much. I've got our cannons using canister shot on the enemy down below, which should be absolutely tearing them to bits, which it is. This is working out brilliantly, because as I expected, they came running through the middle, and they've just been completely torn to bits by our men up the top of the hill. And then they've thought of going through the trees and around the sides, but we've just, like, we've been a bit too aware for them and caught them out, because we've got these lines of Scots who can go into square formation, and as soon as they do that, the enemy stand no chance. They get completely done. Now all these guys are running away. These guys, if you could get yourselves into lined up right, you know, square formation. Because we're about to get charged by the cavalry. So these guys should hopefully die pretty quickly now that we're into square formation and ready for them. We'll get these guys to go over and shoot them. The enemy, they just had loads of cavalry. Like, absolutely tons of cavalry, and we've completely done them in because we have these Scots who can do square formation and who are so accurate and regimented in the way that they fire their guns. Like, they just, like, like, the first line fires, then the second line fires, then the third line fires, and there's just, like, a relentless bombardment of musket balls just heading towards the enemy. And it's aided by the fact that they're so accurate as well, so, like, nothing seems to miss. And the enemy just get completely torn to bits. And there's nothing they can do. Like, these guys are already thinking of running away. They've barely even got in. They've just seen the fact that everyone else is running away. There's a cannon. Don't know what he's doing. A single lone cannon man taking his cannon for a stroll. Probably not going to survive very long. Quite a bit of mopping going on over here. Actually, now I think they've done a decent job. We'll just get them to come back. They've got all these guys who have arrived, and they've got more coming as well, which is actually a bigger force than they started with. So we need to get ourselves positioned and ready to take on these guys when they start attacking us. Right, so that's us all re-lined up, apart from my cavalry, which is all still a bit all over the place. Just line them up like that. So that's us all back into our positions, ready for wave number 2, who are slowly making their way. Our cannons are, I'm using shrapnel shot on them, but they're not doing a very good job of actually hitting the enemy. Not even getting close. They're like landing here for whatever reason. But yeah, it doesn't really matter, because as soon as they get into this area, they're all going to be dead. And they're coming all like one at a time, as opposed to actually... That at least hit somebody. Yeah, they're coming one at a time as opposed to all at the same time, which It's going to make our lives so much easier. That was a good hit. That was a good hit. Where's Napoleon? He's around here somewhere, isn't he? Like, he's one of these reinforcing units. I don't know if it's one of these guys here, but... Is it a Republican Guard? Is this possibly him over here? I don't know. I'd expect him to be on a horse, to be honest. Maybe we've already killed him. Or at least driven him off. Right, they're about to get into range of our muskets, so this is probably going to be the end of these guys. Now they're running away as well, because they've got themselves into line of our muskets, and we're also using canister shot on them, which is tearing them to pieces. Literally. Get all of our cannons to just fire at these guys. They come marching towards us at a hefty rate, and now they've got themselves into range. Don't think it's going to be too long before they get completely ripped to pieces by our muskets and everything else. And we're getting these guys to run away. It's just the cavalry, they're artillery, and whoever this is. Oh, they've got artillery making their way into the battle. I'm not really sure what they're planning on doing, but it's probably not going to end too well for them. So it's just these two units that are left, really. And then their artillery, which we'll just charge with our cannon, well, we could charge them with our cannons, I suppose, but I think the cavalry might do a better job, so we'll charge them with them. I'm going absolute anarchy mode. We're taking heavy losses here, but we're just going to charge straight at these guys and then chuck a bunch of grenades at them. Right about now. God, that killed so many of us, but I think that killed more of them. Grenades again, before you run away. It's a legitimate suicide mission. More grenades heading in, and more destruction of French nature. It's just these guys. Right, so our grenadiers have done an absolutely superb job of suicide bombing these guys. They took so many casualties, but I think we ripped about half of their men down in the process. And now they're running away as well. Well, I think that's that battle finished. Alright, I'll just end it. Heroic victory. It wasn't that heroic. It gave us the advantage. Like, it was actually showing us as having a pretty good chance of winning it, so I'm not sure how heroic it was. Maybe just on the numbers we lost. Probably, I don't expect we lost that many. Especially in comparison to how many we killed. I think we killed so many of them. Like, I'd be surprised if there's any of them left. Yeah. They've only got 300 men left. We only lost 942. So, even though we had a substantial amount more than them, we still have more remaining than they ever had to begin with. So, yeah, that was never going to end well for them. So now, I think we're in a... Well, he's clearing off very far. I think we're now in a very strong position to go and take Turin, who basically is just town guard at this stage. Nobody else there, so we'll just go and besiege them. We'll just continue the besiegement, and we'll bring these guys in as well. We'll auto-resolve that, because it's pretty much guaranteed. We've murdered almost all of them. Nicholas Joseph Chaffee and his men are all dead. So that's them cleared off, and that's us taking Turin. So they're still around. French are still going. I have no idea how, but they are still surviving. So yeah, kind of surprised. Is Napoleon still going? No, I think we've somehow killed Napoleon. It's not come up and said that he's dead, but he's disappeared. So I'm guessing he's dead. Yay! Killed the Napoleon. So I think what I'll do is I'll go and mop up these guys. Hopefully we win this. I mean, basically guaranteed. So we actually lost a hell of a lot of men compared to how many they lost, but that cleared them off, and it's just this group, this one unit, 22 cavalry, and this army that are left, and then Bastia, which we can't really see. There should be a flag there, which there isn't, so we don't know how many men are actually there. It'd be nice to see how many men are still in Bastia, so we could possibly look at taking them on, but I doubt it could be that many. But yeah, I'm not sure how the French are still surviving, to be brutally honest with you, because they have such little in the way of like places left. They've only got Bastia, and then in the Caribbean they have Dutch Guiana and French Guiana, and they have the Windward Islands, and they have this place as well. So that's pretty much all they've got. So I'm not sure how they're still going, but they are. So we're just going to have to continue attacking them. I doubt they've got that much money left, so I don't think they're going to be able to build many men, especially... I think... Is Bastia their capital? Bastia is their capital, so I think we should possibly look at trying to take that next. And then once we've captured Bastia, then... I mean, I said this before, but I think that should hopefully kill them. Like, I don't know how they're still surviving. Yeah, so that's one of our enemies pretty much ticked off the game. So we're making our way towards Tunisia, which I completely forgot about. So we shall continue making our way towards Tunisia, and we shall hopefully win this, which we do. We kill all of them, and only lost 205 men, so it's pretty good going. And we've captured ourselves Tunisia back. So it's got that, and we've now captured all of North America, apart from the Ottoman territories in Egypt and Palestine, Syria, that sort of area. So basically the Middle East and North Africa, like that's all we've really got to go and capture. And then it's off to take on the big boys in terms of the Austrians, who still don't know like what they're actually doing, if they're attacking anybody. Don't seem to be bothered about attacking anybody. The Russians as well. We're allied with both of them, which I'm not sure how that's going to play out, because I feel like they're going to attack each other at some stage. Right, meanwhile, we still have a bit of a situation going on up in the north of America. So this random lad, I think his name is Jean-Baptiste. Yeah, Jean-Baptiste Guiscard has parked himself inside this port, and he hasn't moved. So we may be forced to go and actually engage him, but I'm not really wanting to. So I think we shall just continue recruiting men, even though all we can do is recruit rubbish men, because that's as much as we can do in this place. And yeah, just keep waiting. Hopefully we can beat him if we do have to go and attack him. Don't know what kind of units they've got. They look pretty good compared to us. All we have is militia, which we have learnt already. Well, actually, we have a load of Scots as well. So, yeah, we should be alright. But we can only make militia, that's the biggest problem. So, we're not in a very good position in terms of being able to create anything in that part of the world. What have we got here? A load of militia as well. Should we go and attack that? Let's try and take territory off of the Canadians, well, Quebecois. Yeah, why not? Let's go. Oh god, they're going to take absolute... Why didn't you just cross over there? What is this? Why? Surely that is quicker route to go than all the way around there. Fine. Right, so we'll just recruit some more militia to maintain public order. And I noticed these lads started wandering this direction. Oh, they've taken Texas. Huh. Well, they managed to do what we couldn't, and got rid of the Pueblos that were sitting in Texas. So they've got rid of them and have made their way, and they've just stopped. So I'm not sure if they're ever going to try and attack us. Maybe. They've kind of like reached their limit as in terms of what they've got around here, unless they go way up here, take over the Black Hills, and then it's another massive march to go and take over this part of the world. But I think they've kind of hit their limit, so I think they might start looking at possibly attacking us at some stage, because they've got us to the south and us to the north. So it's, yeah, I'd imagine they'll probably attack us at some point. Brilliant! Right, okay, so that's something that's happened. Adolf Frederick I, another issue here is that he's got the first in his name again. This is something that happened before, and as I pointed out before, you don't need to have the first in your name when you are the first. But we shall gloss over that, Adolf. And, yeah, Sweden have declared war on us, as if Russia being at war with them is not enough. They're weak and destitute. They have a massive navy, and they feel that it's worth declaring war on us. Hopefully Portugal don't join them. The Marathas can join them, because I could probably do with another battle, another war somewhere, but I don't really want Portugal joining. Okay, none of them joined, because why would you? Why would you join Sweden when they're in such a poor position, who are already at war with Russia, by declaring war on Scotland, and then also being joined by Russia, who are already at war with them, and Austria, who I don't think were at war with them, but are now at war with them. They may well have been. I didn't actually look. But that's that. Yeah, I'm not really sure that was a great plan by the Swedish. They're doing it, I think, just to raid our trade routes, but we shall send an army over to Finland and hopefully end them. Right, so we shall start building an army in Sweden, so that we can send them across. What have we got? We should probably do some cannons. What have we got? What have we got? Oh, great. Right, we'll get some 12-pounder cannons. And we shall send them to Abo, or however you pronounce it, and we shall annihilate the Swedish once and for all. We let them live once before. Seems to have been a mistake, because they've decided that we are their greatest enemy and have declared war on us yet again. So we shall make our way across and take them on. They have a hefty navy fleet, like naval power. They've got this entire navy, like full-sized fleet over here. It's not the greatest of ships, but you know, there could be worse as well. And they've got this little like navy here. Somehow the Russians have not managed to take Abo off of the Swedish. I think the biggest problem is they send about one unit at a time rather than sending an entire army. But we won't be making that mistake, and we shall be sending an entire army. What I will do is I'll just go and have a little spy. So they have basically nothing. Basically nothing. It's town guard and a couple of units. So I think we'd probably take them with what we've got. But our biggest problem is they don't have a port anywhere nearby. The nearest port is here, which is being guarded by the Swedish. So we're going to have to go all the way around the top and back down, or drop our men off and then wait a turn and then attack them. But I think that can probably wait until next week. So I'm going to end the video here. It's actually been quite a long one. We've had 2 battles and some hefty gains. We've managed to keep ourselves Bogota, even though I think we're probably going to take it off. Still can't make it back. I think we were going to take it off of the Colombians, even if they had won that battle, but we managed to keep it, so that gives us a solid advantage. So we'll replenish our men and build up a second, like a full-sized army, possibly even more, and send them towards Caracas, and hopefully this time be able to take it, and that will end the Grand Colombians. Meanwhile, in Europe, we managed to take Turin off of the French, finally, and they are now just left with whatever they have in Bastia, and that is it. We actually have a ship here, so what I might do is bring us around this side. Right, okay, they actually have quite a lot of men. Almost a full-sized army, plus what they have inside the port, which is another couple of units. Yeah, it's pretty hefty. So we're going to have to take a lot of men with us to beat them. Have slight naval powers, nothing massive, given that we have this fleet over here. I think we shall just bring ourselves up here and wait until one of these ships decides to leave, and we shall murder them. Might look at taking Sardinia at some point, or possibly the Knights of St. John as well, because they've been around for ages. Italy's weird. Like the whole region of Italy, it's all like individual small places. So they have like the southern, like it was the Neapolitan, yeah, like the southern Italians, and then they had the Romans. Well, it wasn't actually Romans, but the like folk who owned Rome, and Genoa, Venice, Sardinia, Knights of St. John. Like they all have like each region of Italy is a different like nation, and they all just don't seem that bothered about world domination or anything like that. They just sit there and amass ridiculous numbers of men. So everywhere around Italy has just massive armies positioned right beside it. I think this is probably the easiest one to take in Malta because they only have one, but it is one full-sized army, and it's defended by a pretty hefty naval power. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge to take these places, and we kind of took southern Italy and then central Italy and just stopped because there wasn't really much else to take. We took Milan. I can't actually remember who had Milan, but we managed to take that. I think it might have been the French. But we took that, and then we've just kind of stopped in Italy until this week when we secured Turin. But I'm not sure how we're going to manage to take any of this stuff, apart from Bastia. We should hopefully be able to take that in a turn or so, but it's, yeah, the rest of it, I have no idea. But yeah, that's been pretty much all that's happened this week. So if you've enjoyed the video, then give it a thumbs up, and subscribe as well if you're new around here. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. So until then, cheerio.